Have you ever sat on a noisy bus and put on your headphones to drown it out, only to notice that you can still hear all the unwanted noise overpowering Rachmaninoff's Prelude in C-sharp minor? Well, the founder of the Bose Corporation, Amar Bose, had a similar problem when flying on a commercial airliner back home. So instead of turning up the music to max volume and damaging his ears, he decided to develop a brand new technology to make the noise vanish like magic. Now, while most people would think that noise canceling would work by mechanical means, like physically blocking out the sound with foam, rubber, or something else of that sort, it's actually much more complicated and comes with a variety of engineering challenges. Though, to understand noise cancellation, we first have to understand what noise actually is. Almost every sound can be made up of sinusoids. A sinusoid, simply put, is something that continually follows harmonic or periodic motion. They have three unique qualities: amplitude, frequency, and phase, where the amplitude is the maximum height of the sinusoid, frequency is the time to complete one cycle of the continuous motion, and phase is the horizontal position. In the case of sound, the peaks and troughs of the sinusoids are in forms of compression and rarefactions in the air. These changes in air pressure reach your ears, where they're processed by both mechanical and, in a sense, digital parts in your ears and brain. So, for example, lower frequency sounds can be made up of a sinusoid that oscillates slowly, and the opposite is true for high frequency sounds. So how do we actually stop these harmonic air compressions from entering our ears? Well, sinusoids have two more properties that make this task make a lot more sense: constructive and deconstructive interference. Constructive interference is when you combine two equal sinusoids. This process doubles the amplitude of the sinusoid, whereas destructive interference is when you combine a sinusoid with its negative counterpart. This cancels out the original frequency. So, we can use destructive interference to cancel out incoming sounds. This is the basis of noise cancellation. The next question you might ask is, how do headphones that's main purpose is to play sound hear the sounds they need to cancel? Or how do the headphones know what noises it should cancel and which should stay? Well, to answer that, the solution to the first problem is two microphones. One on the outside of the headphones to receive any analog sound that's in the open air. Then, there's a second microphone inside the cup of the headphone to hear what sounds are being canceled incorrectly. Then, in a fraction of a second, the headphone's processor not only digitizes the sounds that are coming in, but it also finds the opposite frequencies that need to be played to create a soundless environment. And, finally, combines it with the music being played. This process creates an entirely new audio file every time a song is played. On top of that, it also determines which noise-canceling filters are important to use. This is carried out when the headphones are activated. As you may know, every ear shape is different. So to adjust for this, Bose headphones, for example, play a cello as a baseline sound when the device is activated, and the microphone inside the headphone's cup sends the result to an algorithm to determine which filters to use to satisfy the ear's shape. Although all these measures are put into place to provide a smooth and comfortable hearing experience for the user, noise-canceling headphones are still quite limited. In a perfect world, noise-canceling headphones would block out every sound. However, there are a few types that make it very difficult. Firstly, we have aperiodic sounds. These are things like a dog bark, or a cymbal crash, or maybe even clapping. These sounds aren't smooth or continuous, and so they end up being a lot more complex. The headphones must have an extreme precision when it comes to the timing of the negative frequencies, and it needs to find a much larger range of sinusoids, as aperiodic sounds, though they may seem quite simple to the ears, are often much denser in terms of data. The second type of sound that is hard to cancel are higher frequency sounds. If you've ever worn a pair of noise-canceling headphones, it'll immediately be brought to your attention that you can still hear high-frequency hissing, or maybe even your surroundings quite clearly, but they just sound tinny. That's because higher frequency sounds require a quicker processor. Since the higher frequencies are quicker in nature, they must also be computed quicker. The final feature that most modern noise-canceling headphones have is called Aware Mode. This is a feature where you're able to hear your surroundings without having to take off your headphones. You might think that it just turns off the noise cancellation and allows you to hear what's incoming naturally. However, you'd be wrong. The problem with that is even just the padding on the ear cups would make it hard to hear your surroundings. So, The solution is to continue noise canceling, and then to use constructive interference on specific sounds like voices and higher frequencies. This allows you to still hear your music comfortably by removing super low frequencies, but allows you to continue hearing things like cars or your mom yelling at you that dinner's ready. So, to summarize, noise canceling headphones cancel unwanted sound by finding the opposite frequencies of sounds coming through a microphone at almost the speed of sound. Then, it adds them to your music, so when you put your headphones on, all you hear is the sweet sound of Rachmaninoff's Prelude in C# minor.